on Utopia podcast. The party continued down the tunnel under Mel's basement, fighting one more of the hooded creatures, this time with glowing red ruby eyes. After defeating it, they continued down the tunnel, only to be stopped by a misty, magical ball. Morgus works to unravel it while the party takes another short rest, and that is where we find them.
Right now.
All right. Morgus, you have 3-4 tendrils of magic left to pull, and the barrier's growing very thin, and the rest of the party now kind of with that warning stands and looks. And you can see about 6 satyrs in the room across the way. They're dressed in tattered robes, and they have like carvings and headdresses. Their eyes kind of glow with this sinister and almost not present expression. One of them still paints frantically on the walls. And the one that has been speaking, as Livy and Scylla would know, stands at attention with a few others. They're hastily armed, but they look a little worse for wear. You're not sure at this point how much of a threat that they will be.
So can you explain to us what the fuck is happening? And what you're all doing?
Yeah, there's one back, scribbling on the wall. There's one standing at attention, just hands on its hips, looking at you. And there are 4 more kind of standing 2 at each side of that person with their hands on their hips with scimitars in hand, just watching.
Yeah, I asked them, like, what is up with the weird, deadly monsters in a dark, creepy cave?
The barrier isn't all the way down.
I think that's just a stereotype, but they're kind of fitting it, to be honest. I see where you're coming from.
So we're going in fighting then?
Who knows? Maybe they also were forced to come here through a series of tunnels. And they're really nice people.
We should if they attack us first, we should definitely defend ourselves, but I would like to know what the fuck they're doing.
Game. As long as they don't have freaky eyes, should we be looking at them?
There's 2 explanations for this. Either they're the ones who are, trying to do something terrible, or I don't know. I would like to learn. And then, beat them up.
Well, whatever tack you want to take, be ready, because I'm almost done with this. So you'll need to make a decision quickly.
I don't know what the jurisdiction is underground, but I don't know that Weaver would be any too pleased if we, cause a murder below the town, assuming that we've gone far enough under the city. I don't know that it's in our best interest to attack unless provoked.
If they attack us, we'll attack, and if they don't, we'll talk. But we should get ready for a fight, just in case.
Scylla takes a normal stance and grips the hilt of her sword.
I'll let the 2 of you do the talking.
I'm not great at talking, but I'm pretty good at hitting stuff if we need to.
The barrier falls. The satyrs don't move. They just stand and stare at you all.
I think as Morgus plucks that last thread, that green mist sort of shifts to that sort of nebulous gold mist, and then it dissipates.
All right, so who are you? What are you doing?
Could ask you the same.
No, it looks like you're summoning evil monsters from the abyss. I think we should
We're
ask.
here to clear out a basement. Oh wait, I'm not supposed to be talking.
I'm not summoning anyone.
Scylla puts her arm sort of in front of Simba, but not in a condescending way, in a sort of protective, back in that we've just hit a stop sign.
Can I roll
did-
an insight to see if like they're lying about not summoning those guys?
Yeah, go for it.
That's a 1. So at 8 in total.
Not sure.
What are you doing down here? You've erected a barrier, and you were chanting. We could hear
I didn't
that.
put that there.
We know you did. You're lying.
I didn't.
Would Margus be able to tell if one of these people specifically was one of the ones concentrating on it or not? With
I don't think so.
My understanding of this barrier. Sorry. No?
Mm-mm.
Okay. I'll kind of just very gently whisper to Livy, might not have been one of them.
All right, let's assume you're telling the truth. Again, just why are you here?
This is our home.
A weird, creepy tunnel that lives...
No, that was there. It looked like a wall.
Livy looks around the place a little bit.
There's a stairwell up on the far side of the room. There's boxes and crates and beds and drawings and a fire circle in the center, the small pot. Certainly not a home in any regard in which someone could choose to live in this society, but it could be a home.
Scylla takes a step forward. We were pushed through here. We're just looking for a way above ground. We took a job. We were locked. We almost triggered something down this hallway. You said it was a wall before, but there was something connecting us here between where we'd come from and I can't help but think that something pushed us through here, but we just want to find our way out.
You're welcome to use our stairs, but we need to know more than that. This is He looks around at the people with him. A sacred place.
I don't see any Mycheria stuff here.
The book that we had mentioned Medusa, right? You mentioned... I'm assuming the Elven chanting was you.
You heard that?
Yes. Were you talking about Medusa?
Godfrey, you notice hands clench on scimitars. At the sound of that name, the knowledge that the song was heard.
Didn't I cut her head off in a dream once?
Yeah, but that probably was an alternate reality.
Oh, I didn't know.
I think you all should leave. And they kind of part the way for a clear pathway to the stairs.
So it was. Listen, I'm a researcher specifically about these entities, these gods. If you're trying to summon her, I'm not exactly an individual who would besmirch that.
I don't need to summon. She's here.
She's here. Did she come to get her crown back?
Can I talk to her? Please?
He gestures to the satyr with very short cut hair, standing on top of a cot, a raised cot, scribbling on the wall frantically.
Livy's gonna hold his judgments for now.
She doesn't look anything like I remember.
Looks can be very deceiving.
Hello, are you? We're told you are on Medusa?
She speaks to you in an unknown gibberish.
She's not speaking like celestial or
I'm
anything
not giving
like
you
that?
your crown back. I won that.
Ziba, now is not really.
You have a crown of Medusa? A man standing behind you.
No, it's a crown of Ziba.
That belongs to us.
You're not even listening.
Oh dear.
Kind of.
Give it to us.
It's complicated.
Oh dear.
My crown?
It's not yours.
All right, I'm gonna pull out my flower crown I've been working on and put it on my head.
One of them scrapes the scimitar across the ground, throwing sparks as the metal hits the stone.
This flower crown? I put a lot of effort into this. I almost got taken by a pseudo dragon to get this one.
You said you have a crown of Medusa.
I said I have the crown of Ziba.
Hey, all right. Okay. All right. Crown aside.
Do I see any sort of statue that's
Nope.
similar
You don't see any
to
statues.
one?
Morgus is.
Can I look at the carving that
Yeah, it's
person
the
is
same
drawing?
drawings that I mentioned you saw through the mist. So nothing new or different, just the same things over and over. Looks like they're using a piece of wood with the burnt ends, the charcoal on the stone.
I can't understand
just-
it at all.
Pictographs of people kissing, sleeping, knives, arrows.
I'm not giving you my flower crown.
that
But I
arrow.
could make you a flower ring if you wanted me to.
What are Godfrey and Scylla doing?
Scylla's standing guard and waiting for the moment to yell run, or if she's going to have to swing down. And she's watching everybody very carefully, including her own party.
Godfrey is trying to body block a position between these folks and Ziba, and also having kind of an internal conflict of now coming across another god, knowing what happened the last time that happened with Erebus.
What about Morgus?
I think Morgus is gonna cut in and be like, all right, crown aside. And he'll kind of gesture at the satyr that they said is Medusa. Are you Medusa's caretakers, worshippers, all of the above? I'm just curious. I'm not here to condemn you for your sense of worship or allegiance.
She turns back. She again just yells. And this time when she says it, she reaches into her pocket and throws a dead snake at you, Morgus, and then turns back and starts drawing on the walls.
Are these one of those champions? Are they all crazy?
Right, I think she might not be literally Medusa, but she might be a champion. Medusa, the kissing, the other stuff. Medusa is a god of lust. Also revenge, so the knives are also went with her.
We have a plan.
You have a plan?
Can I ask what it
Would you
Like
is?
to be in on the plan.
I thought you were worshippers. What are you planning?
All Medusa wants is her curse removed.
She was cursed?
You think she always had snakes for hair?
Oh, I thought it was just a cool fashion choice.
You look back at the woman drawing on the wall. She doesn't have snakes for hair.
I think Morgus is gonna point to a few of the symbols in order, and he'll just say, lust, revenge, lovers to knives. Is there something in that about Medusa? About why she was cursed?
All she whispers to us is, break my curse. Break my curse. Break my curse.
How long have you been in contact with her?
For as long as my tribe has survived.
And you still haven't done it yet?
Have you heard or seen
Did it-
God, young one?
Yeah.
He looks at
Multiple.
you like, what? Wait, what?
I feel like everyone else in the party just kind of
Yeah,
nods.
Morgus just kind of nods, and he'll be like, actually, it's been about 3 in the last week or so.
Who? What?
Well, you can hardly swing a cat
What?
without hitting one
They're
these
kind of
days.
everywhere. They don't seem that great though. I mean, it doesn't it's not like a promotion from hero or anything.
One of the two folks drops their scimitar and kind of moves to sit on the cot next to the person drawing on the wall.
You good? Do you,
What
do you
if-
see?
What about a brief exchange? You share your story, and they'll just kind of look over at Godfrey, Scylla, Livy, Ziba. It sounds like you're curious about what we know.
I can only share my secrets with those who pledge an oath to Medusa. Our plan is in motion.
Have you met
There's no
Medusa?
stopping it.
One second, can I converse with my party for a second? This is a serious commitment, and I just want to make sure we're all on the same page. Is that okay?
No, they're making an oath to it. Sounds like they
Anything
never
to be
met her.
said in our space can be said with us present.
Sure, nobody's taking any fucking oaths.
I mean, you haven't even met her. How do you know it's actually Medusa? Have you ever actually talked to her besides break my curse? Like, was that even in person?
You already
Have you
know
had
too much.
face to face, like, in
And
communication?
For that, you are not allowed
one
to
second.
leave this room.
Let us
Not
just-
allowed.
That's not even the issue. Who have you been talking to? Have you developed a relationship? Have you set clear
The woman on the
communication
wall
boundaries?
throws her hand, throws another snake at Ziba's feet. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Are these snakes alive? I have questions.
Are you able? Do you have danger sense at this point? You get to make that advantage.
Oh, do I?
Yeah.
Do
You
I?
can see the source of the danger.
I do have danger
dex
sense.
save against an
so I
effect.
do.
That you can see.
Wow. And that's a nat 20 now that it's advantage. Originally it was a 3.
These vines
Oh,
erupt
damn.
from the ground as you take 3 steps back, and your feet are not entangled in them. But this pure display of druid magic comes from this woman.
That still doesn't make you Medusa.
As we are all gonna roll for initiative.
Yeah, I thought so.
Druid magic, you say?
Psst, hey, come here.
No. I'm not here to tell you anything new about dice. You know, they're weirdly collectible. They're totally necessary. They're crucial aspects of gameplay that you just never seem to have enough of. But I do want to tell you about our new partnership that all of you could benefit from. Look, Ogopogo Gaming is a 100% women owner, queer owner, dice and gaming company out of Philly, and they've offered to give all Utopia viewers 10% off online orders. Just visit ogopogogaming.com. That's OGOPOGO gaming.com and use promo code UTOPIA, that's UTOPIA, at checkout. You'll get 10% off your dice and you'll be supporting us. It's so cool. It's awesome. Now go get some dice and roll them. Oh, hell yeah, it's the 19. Let's go.
All right, Godfrey.
Oh. All right. Are the effects of the spell I DM'd you still going, or has it been more than a minute?
Still going.
Okay. So they're taking hostile actions at this point, right? Like when
they're all starting to stalk towards you.
So Godfrey takes out the short sword and he goes to stab at this first one, which 19 on the die. So it's 25 total. And as he stabs in, there's just this consolidation of dripping shadow that has formed into a claw that pierces into this creature's neck at the same time. And I needed to make a Constitution saving throw. DC 13.
That's a natural 20.
Okay. So nothing extra from that. But it takes 5 points of piercing damage from the silvered short sword. Then I will bonus action, use a key point, flurry of blows. 20 plus to hit. 23, I think. I need another Constitution saving throw.
17.
Okay, succeeds. So that's 7 points of bludgeoning damage.
You have downed one of the scimitar wielding individuals stalking towards your friends.
Okay, then I move. I'm in enough space to move to the next one with the scimitar, right? So I want to move to that one and try to reach out with an unarmed strike on that one with my last one, but that's an 8 to hit.
Okay, and that's a 16 for the save, and the 8 misses.
Oh, didn't have to make the save because I didn't hit. So,
all right. Godfrey has gone ham as we go to Morgus.
Okay. I think, again, Morgus is just going to immediately just throw himself into the magic again, and his eyes are going to just burn gold now. And he's just going to slowly look over toward the satyr that Godfrey went after, and there's going to just be this reverberating word that's very deep. Grovel. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw. DC 14.
That fails with a 9.
Yeah, you fall. That target falls prone on its turn and then ends its turn.
Cool.
When its turn comes back around. And then I'm going to stay in that doorway, and maybe as my bonus action, I want to say to my party, I can block the way for us if we need to get out of here. So if we need to run, then run. And that's going to be my turn.
All right. That is to Scylla. You have 3 more scimitar wielding folks up. The leader that you've been talking to in the center of them, stalking towards the party. One is engaged with Godfrey, and the woman who threw the entangle spell that they're calling Medusa is up on the bed. You can easily cross the distance to any of those folks.
How far away is she?
She's about 35 feet away.
I'm going to take about 25 feet and get within about 10 feet of her. And I'm going to sort of point towards the ground and pull upwards. And you see the dirt start cracking and those spectral vines weave up again, pushing dirt and pebble out of the way. And I would love for you to make a wisdom... No, wait, sorry. Make either strength or dex.
That's a 5 dexterity saving throw.
Yeah, that fails. So they start to come up and they weave and wrap around her ankles and her calves and her legs and up to her arms and wrap and cinch. And I'm casting Nature's Wrath Spectral Vines.
Hell yes.
So you are restrained. You can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of your turn, freeing yourself.
Cool. Bonus action. All right, Ziba.
How close am I onto the snake lady?
You're about 20 feet away. Scylla is standing there, having just entangled her.
And then how close am I to the guy who wouldn't listen to me about my crown?
About 15 feet.
Oh, okay, good. I think I'm gonna go for him, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And Ziba, after seeing like, this fight break out and everyone just immediately shut down and be like, no one listens to me! I just was trying to help us all communicate and no one will listen! And with that, we're gonna rage and just charge this guy. We're gonna make him listen.
Oh! Rage damage.
Ancestral guardians.
That's also a thing. That is a 19 to hit.
Yes.
And so, dice things. Oh. That'll be 14 slashing damage.
Dead.
Oh. Well, he ain't listening anymore, that's for sure. And since he's already dead, I'm not going to enact, I think, Ancestral Guardians, because it's like they would have started appearing and they've been like, oh. All right, next week.
There are 3 more cultists around. You're now within like 5 to 7 foot of the other 2. The one got,
but it's only the first creature I hit
so.
with my attack.
Oh, okay, cool.
So they literally like would have showed up for like half a second and been like, oh, okay, no, you got this. Never mind, we'll be back. You can handle it. Bye-bye.
All right, that is to Livy.
I want to. Is it possible to hit all 3 of these people with a 10-foot radius attack without hitting Ziba?
You would hit both Ziba and
Do it
Godfrey.
anyways.
No, whichever way you would slash that. You're essentially 2 lines just running at each other.
Do it anyways.
Cool. Okay. No. No. What? No.
Do it. I cast peer pressure.
You look so fucking weird. I love you. I'm just gonna I guess I'm just gonna cast Bane on the 3 that are still alive. They have to make a charisma saving throw. And they have to beat my
the
14.
2 engage. Oh, no, never mind. All 3 fail.
Cool. So they get to make a save at the end of their turn. But all of their attacks and saves, they must roll a d4 and subtract that number.
Let me dig one of those out.
I'm sorry. They're like the Legos of the dice world. Painful bastards.
Any bonus action or movement?
No, I'm just gonna hide in the back.
The cultist next to Ziba is going to try to swipe at her with their scimitar. And I'm subtracting a d4, 14 to hit.
That will not hit me.
All right, the one engaged with Godfrey is going to try to hit Godfrey. That is an 8 to hit, which will miss. And the final one on the other side of Godfrey, opposite Ziba, gets a 12, which will also miss. And that is to Medusa, who is going to cast Thunderwave out of her from her vines as she makes a slight movement with her hand and speaks some more gibberish words.
Question. Sorry to
Yeah.
interrupt.
Mhm.
Did the grovel happen yet? I thought I cast that on Medusa. Did I?
You did, and they
Okay.
failed. So that's not happening.
Yeah, she's just gonna fall prone and end turn. If that is this turn.
Wait. Did she fail? Okay.
She did.
Someone
I
check
remember
with
it
me.
failed. I just don't
Okay.
I was listening for a turn, and I think this is the turn that happened.
Thank you for keeping track of your shit.
Yeah.
She can't fall. She can't fall because she's entangled by Scylla's spell, but she
Yeah.
just like slunches over and bows her head as best she can.
Yeah, and I think part of that is like her eyes burn gold like Morgus's as the magic finally hits and takes effect.
Great. All right. And that's back to Godfrey.
Okay, the one that I tried to hit but it dodged, I stab at it with a 13.
13 hits.
Okay, it takes 6 points of piercing damage from a silvered weapon, and it needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
A 10.
And as I stab into it, the claw comes out, and it reaches and slashes through, and these dark tendrils of just decay start to run through it as it takes 5 additional points of necrotic damage.
Dead. Donezo.
And then I move to the next one that tried to hit me, and I try to punch just straight into its jawline.
Yeah?
Did I get an no, that's a 4 for a 10 total.
Nope, that'll miss.
These guys seem like just guys.
So I miss with that one. That I come around and just try to punch it straight in the gut with a 20 to hit.
20 will hit.
So I use that bonus action to flurry. That is 6 points of bludgeoning damage, and it needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
13.
DC 13, so it succeeds.
All right. Movement. You're staying engaged.
Staying engaged, I will try to pivot so I am between it and Medusa,
Cool.
getting a little bit closer to where Medusa is.
Great. Morgus, you see one more heading for Ziba as Godfrey takes down another and is actively engaged with the final one.
Okay.
Or
so,
heading towards Ziba.
okay, so there's one of like the henchmen and Medusa still left, or is Medusa down?
There's 2 of the henchmen and then Medusa slumped in the vines
Okay.
on the wall.
And I have clear shots from kind of standing in like the entrance to the cave. Or is
On the
our-
one next to Ziba, you have a clear shot. On the
Okay.
one that Godfrey's engaged with, it would have to be. They
Like
have cover from Godfrey's body.
Okay, so I'd have to move
yeah.
for
Even-
that one.
Even though I moved to be on like the other side of
Oh
it,
yeah,
so I'm
nope,
between it and Medusa.
both are open.
Okay. I think Morgus is gonna his eyes are gonna burn gold again, and he's gonna slowly kind of look from one to one to one. Then his eyes are gonna go, which of the 3 looks the most hurt? Actually.
The one that Godfrey's engaged with.
Okay. There's a couple of those like recent memories that flash for Morgus, and as he's gonna kind of look at his hands for a moment after looking at this creature, and some of that nebulous mist is going to rise up from them, and then he's going to just reach out through the air and like run his hand along something, and then it looks like this sort of nebulous string of gold, and he's running his finger along it, and then he's going to pull on it, and then he's going to make a fist. And then there's going to be this like distortion of reality, and then he's going to release it like he's pulling on a bowstring, and that like weird reality distortion is going to shoot out at that one. This is a new flavor of Firebolt for Morgus, as he remembers a little bit more. So the Firebolt, the timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly Firebolt is going to go at that injured one by Godfrey.
Yeah.
That is a 21 to hit.
Yes, that absolutely hits.
Okay. And then 8 timey-wimey fire damage.
Dead. Bonus action or movement?
I think I'm just going to take my bonus action again to be like, just let me know if we need to go and stop it. Otherwise, we can stay here. And that's going to be my turn.
All right. So you go to Scylla. You've entangled Medusa. You're watching your friends make short work of the henchman, and you have seen her hunch. And a similar magic you've seen others do when Morgus cast that spell.
How many of them are left
Just
beside her? Okay. Within reach?
Yeah, with back towards you as it heads towards Ziba.
Cool. Fantastic. That is not concentration. Great. I'm going to go ahead with one hand and swing my long sword up and around and try and strike on the last remaining henchman.
Yeah.
For a 19.
Yep.
Cool. What is my +2? For a 7 damage.
Dead. As it falls to the ground. You have to take a few steps toward it to reach it, to slash through, and you step back. All that's left is the groveling Medusa character. She gets saves for both the vines and the grovel, right,
only affects her on that one turn. The magic goes away at the start of her next turn.
Okay, but she does get a save for the grovel.
For the vine.
For the vines, sorry, yes.
Yep.
Well, that's not one. So as she struggles against the vines to try to break loose, I'm going to take away her action the rest of the action economy for that turn. We can stay in initiative if you want to fight her, or we can leave initiative if you have other plans.
I think we're going to look over and be like, are you ready to communicate now?
She just hisses at you in that gibberish language she's been speaking.
Swear to my Sharia, I'm gonna...
Let me see what... let me see what a spell I know does.
Is anyone else worried these guys went down a little too easy? They're not coming back as ghosts too, right? With the weird in mouth face.
So before anyone casts a spell or do anything of that kind, I need to know if we're continuing to fight or if we're trying to negotiate.
I want to try to negotiate, because I have a thing I can do.
People.
That'll let me understand her.
Yeah, Scylla stands back and sort of flicks her sword down, but stands on guard, but not on attack.
Morgus will like shift his posture to be facing Medusa, and his eyes will still burn gold because he's still kind of connected to magic, and his voice will take on that deep timbre of when he casts it, and he's like, he doesn't say anything. Never mind. He's just gonna kind of like Scylla, like square up and be ready.
Yeah.
Stomp towards Medusa and be like, I said, are you ready to talk or what? And like pointing the sword at her throat.
What about Godfrey?
He's conflicted. But he'll do with the rest of everyone else, but still approach because Ziba's approaching.
I cast Comprehend Languages. I don't use it as a ritual. I just cast it with my last first level spell slot.
Great. You still only hear gibberish.
God damn it. So she is just
But
speaking
now we
gibberish,
know.
Can I
not a
slap her?
language.
Mhm.
But now we know. Don't slap a probably mentally insane.
You
Like,
could slap
don't,
her.
don't cast it like an ill old lady.
You
Use
slap her.
words,
No
all
one's-
right? I mean, use a little spank.
We don't.
Godfrey's like, slap her. Just slap her.
Listen. You're outnumbered. Held hostage right now, in bondage. There is no way of, you can talk to us and explain to us what is going on, and trust me, we're going to be the accommodating ones, or we can take you to the guards and they can do whatever they'd like.
Yeah,
to
to
do.
talk.
She speaks that gibberish. She tries to like move her hands into her pocket. She's able to like get them in, but she's not dexterous enough with her hands kind of entangled to do what she wants to do. And you see like 5 dead snake heads like pop out of her pocket as she tries to throw one at you all again.
You cannot throw the snakes. That's not an option anymore.
What? Can I
Can you
slash at her
shake your
pants
head?
just enough to cut her pocket so all the snakes fall out and just nick her a little bit? Just a little bit.
It's really hard to do because she's
Well,
like
what I'm
wrapped
hearing is
in
she's being held
vines,
still. I feel
which
like
is
I
why
could
she
be
can't
pretty
get the
nifty
snakes
with
all
it.
the way out.
It's just a little nick.
If you want to, you can.
You say you can't or can?
I said
I
if you
can.
want to, you can. Snakes are like kind of stuck to her body with the vines wrapped around her as you start to cut the pocket away.
Alright.
And she tries to like flap her hand at you to make you stop, but it's like to no avail.
Yeah, you started this because you're throwing snakes and you're not using your words, and so you're getting your snakes taken away until you learn how to communicate. Now it doesn't have to be words. I understand that's not everyone's way, but this is not working. You just throwing things and causing violence. So we're taking the snakes.
You hear her whisper to herself in gibberish again. And the bed underneath her catches flame.
Oh, you
I
think
use
I've never
control
been on fire
flame
before?
to put it out.
She screams in gibberish at you. Her feet now kind of singed and burned and bubbling from the fire she lit
I've been on
underneath
fire
herself.
before. Okay, this isn't gonna stop me. Okay, no snakes for you.
All right. So
Yes.
she's definitely has information that she's trying to make sure we
I
don't
don't know
learn.
if there's any way we can learn it unless we take a prisoner. But even then, I
Do we
don't
know anyone?
know.
Do we know anyone with spell?
I know a place that would be interested, though. I'm sure the Church of Mysheria would be interested in receiving a god that is not Mysheria.
What are we suggesting? We knock her unconscious and take her
Yeah.
upstairs?
We can't.
By all means, Godfrey.
Knock her unconscious.
All right. You do so easily.
Yep, all non-lethal.
Do you release the vines, Scylla?
Oh God, no!
Yeah,
Wait.
I do. Absolutely, I do. As soon as she's unconscious and hits the ground, I like very gently pull back on the vines and they start to recede back into the cracks. But just so I want it to happen, I don't want her to hit the ground. I don't want her to make contact with it. Kind of as she falls, they dissipate.
All right. Do we know anyone with spell to read minds?
You guys can read minds? Seems kind of rude.
Yeah, it's magically
There are
possible.
spells
You
like
could
that.
Probably. I mean, if I can find a scroll for it, I can learn it. But
I always knew my mother could read my mind. How else would she know those things?
As you have dealt with all the adversaries in this space, this Medusa unconscious, you see just a room filled with knickknacks and stuff. Does anyone do
I
any
will very
investigation?
much investigate. Now that we're kind of.
Are there any books?
Give me an investigation check. Or an arcana check if you're looking specifically for magic items.
I'll do.
I'm looking for.
I'll do.
I'm looking for those
Why
books.
those magic items sound interesting to me.
We'll just bind Medusa so if she returns back to consciousness, she can't reach for any more snakes or run away.
There are about 10
I rolled a
snakes in
10.
your pocket, Ziba.
Arcana's a
No
14.
snakes! Do they just keep going? How deep are these pockets?
All right.
Arcana is a 14.
Cool. You all find the following items that I am going to put in the Discord server. These are the items that the party finds: a pole of collapsing, potion of climbing, a spell scroll of thunder wave, a bead of refreshment, 20 walloping arrows, a talking doll, a hand, some kind of prosthetic limb, a potion of healing, a ruby of the war mage, an unbreakable arrow.
I don't know what that ruby is,
Unbreakable
but it's a
arrow.
shiny rock, and I kind of want to add it to my collection. I have no idea what it does, genuinely.
I feel like it.
Go back to that talking doll one.
How do we know it talks? Wait, yeah, how do we know it talks?
It just has like a string on the back that you pull and then it lets go and it talks.
Like a Teddy Ruxpin
There's
type
a snake
deal, or
in
like
my
a
boot.
Hello, I'm Teddy Ruxpin.
Not,
or is it like not just doll?
I think Morgus has taken that spell scroll. Just want to put that out there.
What is the ruby of the war
It's a
mage?
very
That sounds
cool
kind of dope.
item.
Oh, I forgot. You also find one bag of
Oh.
holding.
Do I
Who
have to
wants
clean
to-
it?
Sick.
Bag. Nice.
Livy takes the bag,
Fine.
if that's okay.
While everybody else
Fine.
is doing the investigation thing, Scylla is moving towards the steps and listening in if there's anybody moving around upstairs or peeking under to see if she can see a way out or gauge if there's anybody like upstairs where we are.
Yeah. You hear some slight footsteps. You don't hear like voices or anything. You do see another door at the top of the stairs. It just seems like a normal wooden door.
Am I able to, if I'm at like eye level with it, if I don't go all the way up, am I able to see anything underneath? Am I able to see light or anything coming through?
Yeah, you can see light.
I'm going to hang out on the steps a little while longer.
That is it. Thank you so much for listening. How many parts of Mel's do you think there are? I'm just curious. I didn't know we were going to get so much content out of this bounty, and I'm loving it. The lore, the unearthing, the sleuthing, the weirdness, the connecting of dots. It continues. So tune in next week. If you're enjoying it, join our Discord server. And if you like us even more, follow, like, subscribe, leave a comment, rate us, whatever you can do where you're listening to this podcast. If you really like us, we have a Patreon. We're on all the socials, and we hope to see you be a part of our awesome community. Intro and outro by Nolan Clock. Everything else by myself and the cast. Have a great day.